Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Presented by Bogey Studios in association with Moluckin's Media Group. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam, I am.
Oh, that's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. Huh. I do not like that Sam I am.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
I do not like them Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham.
Would you like them here or there?
I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox?
Not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Could you, in a car?
Eat 'em. Eat 'em. Here they are. I could not in a car.
You may like them. You will see. You may like them in a tree.
I could not in a tree. Not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Ooh, a train! A train!
A train!
Come on, a train! Would you on a train?
Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car, Sam. Let me be. I could not in a box. I would not with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Say, in the dark? Here in the dark. Could you in the dark?
I could not in the dark.
Could you in the rain?
I could not in the rain. Not in the dark, not on a train. Not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see? Not in a house, not in a box. Not with the mouse, not with the fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere.
You do not like green eggs and ham?
I do not like them, Sam I am.
Would you with a goat?
I could not with a goat.
Could you on a boat?
I would not on a boat. I will not with the goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on the train. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. Let me be. I do not like them in a box. Do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham.
You do not like them. So you say, try them. Try them. And you may. Try them and you may, I say.
Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see. Say, I like green eggs and ham. Yeah, I do. I like them, Sam I am. And I would eat them in a boat. And I would eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain. And in the dark and on a train. And in a car and in a tree. They are so good. So good, you see. So, I will eat them in a box. And I will eat them with a fox. And I will eat them in a house. And I will eat them with a mouse. And I will eat them here and there. Say, I'll eat them anywhere. Yeah. Woo! I do so like green eggs and ham. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sam I Am. Come here. You're adorable.
All right, easy. I'm delicate. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Presented by Bogey Studios in association with Mulluckins Media. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? Why was it there? Why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters. And sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. And then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole, in his grubulous glove. Then he grunts.
I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone.
Slop! Down slops the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they had to come down through a snuggly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose.
Now I'll tell you,
He says, with his teeth sounding gray,
how the Lorax got lifted. I take it away. It all started way back. Such a long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swummy swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, a bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots, frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I know just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thunade. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister! He said with a sawdusty sneeze. I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my trophiula toft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a Thanid. A Thanid's to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that full Thanid. But the very next minute I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the Thanid I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. Yeah, poor stupid guy. You never could tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Wunsler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken. Sharp right at South Stitch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Wunsler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting Thanids, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making Thanids 4 times as fast as before. And that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped. I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbalots, who played in the shade in the barbalot sots, and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go around, and my poor barbalots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys! He cried, and he sent them away. I, the Wunsler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business. A business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know? I meant no harm, I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory. I biggered my roads. I biggered my wagons. I biggered the loads. Of the Thanids I shipped out, I was shipping them forth. To the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more Thanids, and biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes, and that old no-sense Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax. I am the Lorax. He coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snargled. He sniffed. Wunsler! He cried with a cruffulous croak. Wunsler! You're making so smoky smoke! My poor swommy swans. They can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smoke in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smoke you've smoked up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax. His dander was up. Let me say a few words about Gloopity Glop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gloopity Glop or so sloppity slop. And what do you do with this leftover go? Oh, I show you! You dirty old Wunsler man, you! Mira, you go lump in the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, or their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins. I got woefully weary. in search of some water, and isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring. I'm biggerin', and biggerin', and biggerin', and biggerin', turning more truffula trees into Thanides, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall. The very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees. No more Thanides. No more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars, drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backward glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog, without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless, whatever that meant. Well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away through the years while my buildings have fallen apart. I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds. And truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. And then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. Hey, kid, what are you waiting for? Plant the seed already.
The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. Presented by Bogey Studios, in association with Mulluckins Media Group. The sun did not shine. It was too wet to play. So we sat in the house all that cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, "Oh, how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out, too cold to play ball." So we sat in the house. We did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit, and we did not like it. Not one little bit. And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump. We looked, and we saw him stepping on the mat. We looked, and we saw him. The Cat in the Hat. And he said to us, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun. It is funny." "I know some good games we could play," said the Cat. "I know some new tricks," said the Cat in the Hat. "A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do." Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, No, make that cat go away. Tell that Cat in the Hat you do not want to play. I should not be here. I should not be about. I should not be here when your mother is out."
Now, have no fear,
said the cat.
My tricks are not bad.
Said the cat in the hat.
Why, we can have lots of good fun if you wish, with a game that I call Up, Up, Up with a Fish. Put me down,
said the fish.
This is no fun at all. Put me down, I say,
said the fish.
I do not wish to fall. Have no fear,
said the cat.
I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. But that is not all I can do,
said the cat.
Look at me now,
said the cat.
With a cup and a cake on top of my hat. I can hold up 2 books, I can hold up the fish, and a little toy ship, and some milk on a dish. And look, I can hop up and down on the ball. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold the toy ship and a little toy man. And look, with my tail, I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all.
That is what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball. And Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said,
Do I like this? Let me think about that. No, I do not. This is not a good game,
said our fish as he lit.
No, I do not like it. Not one little bit. Now look what you did,
said the fish to the cat.
Now look at this house. Look at this. Look at that. Now you sank our toy ship. Sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house. And you bit our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house,
said the fish in the pot.
Oh, but I like to be here. Oh, I like it a lot,
said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot.
I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so,
said the cat in the hat,
so, I will show you another good game that I know.
And then he ran out, and then fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box. A big red wood box. It was shot with a hook.
Now look at this trick,
said the cat.
Take a look.
Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat.
I call this game Fun in a Box,
said the cat.
In this box are 2 things I will show to you now. You will like these 2 things,
said the cat with a bow.
I will pick up the hook. You will see something new. 2 things. And I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you. They want to have fun.
Then out of the box came Thing 2 and Thing 1, and they ran to us fast. They said,
Hey, how do you do? Would you like to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2? All right.
And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2. We shook their 2 hands, but our fish said,
No! Those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out. Put them out,
said the fish in the pot.
Have no fear, little fish,
said the cat in the hat.
These things are good things.
And he gave them a pat.
They are tame. Oh, so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet day. Now, here is a game that they like,
said the cat.
They like to fly kites,
said the cat in the hat.
No, not in this house,
said the fish in the pot.
They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump. Oh, the things they will hit. I do not like it. Not one little bit.
Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those 2 things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump. Down the wall, in the hall. Thing 2 and Thing 1, they ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite, we saw Mother's new gown. A gown with the dots that are pink, white and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of a bed. Then those things ran about, with big bumps, jumps and kicks. And with hops and big thumps and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, I do not like the way they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say? And then our fish said,
Look!
And our fish shook with fear.
Your mother is on her way home. Do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way. So do something, fast,
said the fish.
Do you hear? I saw her. Your mother is near. So, as fast as you can, think of something to do. You'll have to get rid of thing 1 and thing 2.
So as fast as I could, I went after my net, and I said, with my net I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net I can get those things yet. Then I let down my net. It came down with a plop, and I had them. At last. Those 2 things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, now you do as I say. You pack up those things, and you take them away.
Oh dear,
Said the cat.
you did not like our game. Oh dear, what a shame. What a shame. What a shame.
Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look.
That is good.
Said the fish.
He has gone away, yes. But your mother will come. She will find this big mess. And this mess is so big and so deep and so tall, we cannot pick it up. There's no way at all.
And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat,
Have no fear of this mess.
said the cat in the hat.
I always pick up all my playthings. And so, I will show you another good trick that I know.
Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown, and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish, and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish. And he put them away. Then he said,
That is that.
and then he was gone with the tip of his hat. Then our mother came in, and she said to us too, did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do? And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now, what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you?
Achoo! Oh, there better not have been a cat in here.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Presented by Bogey Studios in association with Mulluckins Media Group. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. Could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, the noise. The noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast. And they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together, with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. Yeah!
So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said,
Get up!
and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came to the first little house on the square.
This is stop number 1.
The old Grinchy claws hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings
He grinned.
are the first things to go. Hiya!
Then he slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant, around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimbley. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now,
Grinned the Grinch.
I will stuff up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound, like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot,
The fake Santa Claus lied.
there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here.
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's.
He was grinchiously humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do.
Oh, their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo! Yeah! That's a noise, grinned the Grinch. That I simply must hear. So he paused. Huh? And the Grinch put his hand to his ear. Wait for it. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. Oh yeah, here it comes. It started in low. Any minute now. Then it started to grow. Now we're cooking. But... Yep, here we go. The sound wasn't sad. Wait, what? Why, this sound sounded merry. Hold the show. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. That sounds merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other. It came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours, till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. All right! Merry Christmas! Now who wants a drumstick? I gotta tell you, you guys really threw me for a loop. You folks are actually all right by me. All right.